Happy Good Friday, you guys. For those who might not exactly be sure what Good Friday is, so today is the day that we actually celebrate Christ dying on the cross for our sins. So it is a beautiful day, a perfect day, I think, to do a quick little devotion with our challenges. So let's jump right in. Today we're going to be talking about discovering daily. So of course she goes in a little spiel about how she thought she knew a lot of stuff about her husband, but then quickly discovers as they were dating that you might not know everything about your spouse. So it was fun getting to know him just as it was fun for him to get to know me. I think that is one of the most exciting parts of falling for someone. Having a person say to you, "I like who you are, I want to know you better." It is the reason couples stay on the phone until 3 in the morning. It is the reason they text each other all day. It is the reason they spend hours upon hours together. They are learning about each other, and each new discovery makes them want to find out more, as if their relationship were like reading a good book they can't put down. But at some point, the newness wears off. It just does. It's not anyone's fault. We just know most of what there is to know. That's not falling in love. That's called being in love. In my opinion, when a person knows most of what there is to know about someone else and chooses to continue an intimate relationship with that person, that's one facet of true love. But when we think we know all there is to know about another person, we are essentially declaring that person will always be this way. It's as though we forget that the other person changes a little bit with each passing day, just as we do. I realized this a couple of years ago when 8 years into our marriage, my husband suddenly took up bicycling. He bought this expensive bicycle, an indoor bike trainer, and those awesome bicycling clothes and signed up to ride 75 miles in a group ride. Just when I thought I knew all there was to know about Jared Thompson, he became this cyclist, and he really enjoyed it, but I did not see it coming. I had no idea he was even interested in bicycling. But that's the thing. He might not have been slightly interested in cycling when we first met. He might not have been interested 5 years into our marriage. But the day that he became interested and decided to pursue it, I had two options. I could support him in exploring something new, or I could stand back and say, "Who are you? I don't even know you anymore." The bicycling is a pronounced example of something I think most of us do every day without realizing it. We don't refuse to let our husbands change, or our spouse in general, but rarely do we treat them as though there might be something about them we have yet to learn. Typically, we believe we know all there is to know. What if we asked our spouse about the dreams they still have in their hearts? What if we had conversations as though we were still interested in who they are becoming? What if we kept trying to get to know them? The reality is we might learn something brand new. We might experience the joy of getting to know our spouse on another level, and our spouses would know that they are free to keep discovering who they are. There is something powerful about a wife who can look into the heart of her husband and recognize the potential for new dreams, and vice versa. There is something empowering about giving our spouse permission to grow. Today, let's try looking at our spouse with fresh eyes. Rediscovering our marriage isn't just about what we do, it is also about shifting how we think. So let's try this. I understand that most of the mystery behind the person you sleep with each night is gone, but when was the last time you thought about the dreams in their heart? When was the last time you asked them about them? When was the last time you looked at them and thought, when was the last time you looked at them as though you might discover something new if you asked the right questions? How would you listen to them if you thought they might tell you something you didn't already know? So for today's challenge, we're going to have a simple conversation with our spouse. If today were the first day you fell in love, you would ask questions that prompted the answers you were the most curious about. So here are some starters. How does your spouse feel about their job? How do they feel about their family? How do they feel about your relationship? Consider using these prompts the next time you two have a few minutes alone, or even during dinner with your family. Your children could benefit from learning more about their father. Even if the concepts are a bit over their heads, they should see their parents having healthy conversations. Finally, the next chance you get, ask your spouse this question: what's one thing about you I don't already know? Then tell him one thing about yourself. It's not about the answers, friend. It's about the attitude of the heart that asks. Give them grace to grow and take the time to keep discovering. because getting to know them should take a lifetime. So I actually skipped around a little bit, and I picked this one on purpose because I was trying to find ones that I felt were A, the most important right now, and B, that would be honestly the easiest to do while you were all cooped up in the house. And I think this one is a great one. Mark honestly surprises me all the time. It's always something new with him. Every 6 months the man has a new hobby, but he keeps me on my toes, and so there's always something new to discover with him. I probably consider myself a pretty plain Jane type of person. I kind of stick with what I've stuck with most of my life, but I'd like to think that sometimes I can surprise them with the things that I get into. So this would be a great time to look up those questions on Pinterest. I know I sent some a while back in our chat. Just get to know each other. Act like y'all are dating for the first time. The answers that if you were to look at the questions that you could look up on Pinterest or the ones that I sent, you might think you know the answer, and it might be totally something different now. You know, people grow every single day. I know that I am not the same person that married Mark. I have grown, I have changed, I have become a mother since then. So I just encourage y'all to act like y'all are getting to know each other for the very first time, and to just keep discovering new things about each other. I like when she says in there that, like, give your spouse grace to grow and to change, and encourage them to try new things, to pursue dreams, whether they be little or big. You know, one of Mark's biggest dreams right now is that he really wants to hike the Appalachian Trail. So he's been really into, like, looking at maps and, like, looking up different hikes, which that's kind of been put on hold with all this stuff going on. But, like, and I just, you know, I don't personally want to do that, but, you know, I love to encourage him and to hear him talk about all the different things that he's learning about this trail, and, you know, just be supportive if that's what it takes to get into it. If you want to, joining in willingly, maybe this would be a good time to discover new things and learn new things together. But just give each other grace in general right now. It's hard, and it's important. I also think that it's important, like she said in the book, for your kids. Don't forget that your kids are looking to you, even though they might be a little too young to really understand. Eventually your kids are going to grow up, and they're going to remember how you reacted, especially how you reacted in a time of crisis right now. But they are going to look to you on how to have a healthy, functioning relationship. So give that to them. Let them see y'all work things out. You know, I'm not saying yell and scream in front of your kids. Don't do that. But let them see you work things out so they know what a healthy marriage looks like, you know. Give grace to your kids as well right now. I know that can be a little bit more difficult, but I actually just read an article that said that right now that it's very common for kids to go through, like, a regression, either with potty training or sleep training or anything like that, because they just are confused. They're out of their norm, and they just want to go back to what's comfortable, and that's being a baby. So just try to find some routine for them as well. But I hope that all of y'all are doing well mentally, and just finding new things to do and discovering new things about your spouse. That's honestly my prayer for you guys, is that this opportunity to be locked in the house together is a time for growth and for renewing romance and just learning so much about yourself and about each other. As always, please reach out to me if you need anything, or you need prayer or anything like that. I am praying for you guys. I hope that y'all find, typically I would invite y'all to church for Easter, but I hope that maybe you will either watch my church online or just any church, just get involved. Even though you can't go out, just hear the message of Jesus. Hear how much he cares. I mean, cared so much, he sacrificed his son for each and every one of us. And so I hope that you would lean into that this Easter. I love you guys, and I'm praying for you, and I cannot wait until we can all be together soon.